Welcome to the real world. I can show you the world.
And then?
And you'll be in a world of legendary moments will be captured. So stand up, scream, and make sure the boys feel you.
And the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys? Yeah!
Okay, it's
Mark, who would you rather have and who would you draft? AJ Brown or CeeDee Lamb?
I'll take CeeDee Lamb.
Why?
CeeDee has some more maturing to do because CeeDee sometimes checks out, and he admits that he has some growing up to do.
He did have 1,700 yards.
Broke Michael Irvin's record. And here's what's crazy about the season he had. You could take Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuels, and they have the exact number of receptions, which is crazy because having those two guys – no, seriously, last year, 131 receptions. And if you're the only guy there that you got to stop, you got to figure, let's stop that guy. And they weren't able to do it. You didn't have the Robin over there that you had to worry about like you had between Deebo and Ayuk. But I will look and say, I believe there's still a lot more upside left to CeeDee Lamb. And I don't know that, and not to say that A.J. Brown isn't really good because he is really, really good. I don't know that there's much more that he is going to be able to do. He is getting a little older.
He's 26 years old.
Philly 500. AJ or
AJ
CeeDee
Brown.
Lamb?
It's not even close. AJ
Yeah.
Brown. AJ Brown's a much better all-round receiver.
Not
Not only that, AJ Brown shows up in the playoffs. He played a great Super Bowl. He had a great Super Bowl. Not only that, AJ Brown isn't the only weapon. He still goes out, makes plays, and he's not the only guy. I mean, of course, CeeDee Lamb's going to put up nice numbers because he's the only guy that Dallas has got to throw to. So he gets a lot more balls thrown his way.
He gets a lot more balls thrown to him.
He's a great slot wide receiver. Great slot wide receiver. Not as good as AJ Brown.
Hold on. Let me see if I got this right, Philly. You're saying that because he's the only one to throw to, that's the reason why his numbers are great.
No, I'm saying that they're inflated compared to a guy like AJ Brown.
If you're trying to say you only have one guy, it's easier to throw the ball to that one guy as opposed to having a Dallas Goedert.
I'm saying that one guy is going to get more targets.
AJ Brown, because see,
I'm saying he's going to get more
look at it and
targets
say,
because
I
he's
can
the only guy
double
that got to throw
and
to.
cover CD. I can't necessarily do that with Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, and AJ Brown.
Yeah, but he's sitting there in the slot. He's a slot wide receiver. He's stuck in the slot, and that's all you have.
Okay.
Slot wide receiver.
So of course everybody is making those kind of numbers then, right? Because everybody does it. So everybody's getting 1,700 yards.
Dallas has got a great quarterback, right? According to you, they got the best quarterback in the league.
Well, good evening, everybody. Game time, Brian here. And I welcome back my partner in crime, back from illness. He sounds pretty good. Primetime Phil. What's going on, man? How are you feeling, my man?
I got a cough occasionally here and there, but it's just nice to have some energy, nice to not have the pressure in my head. It just the flu just would not leave. You know, you get to that point where you're actually trying to remember the last time you're actually feeling better, and you're like, will I ever feel that way again? You know, so no, I'm just happy to be back. I'm happy to be back on the chat because this is the part I missed, you know, and you were like, hey, I don't know if you need more time. And I'm like, no, man, I'm ready to get back at this. I'm missing it.
I'm glad to have you back. It's like not having that security blanket, when I screw up or I can't think of something or vice versa.
We help each other, yeah.
It's nice. But listen, before I get to the chat, if anybody watched that,
that gets me riled up.
Well,
Let's just be real,
man. I just want to check Philly 500. I know we got a lot of. I'm not here to crap.
Well,
on
here's the thing. If you're a Philly fan, whatever the subject is, Philly is number one. what's the best restrooms in the whole stadium? Our stadium restrooms have fans and stuff. They got Eagle stuff all over it. We got toilet paper that has Dallas Cowboy stuff on it. You know, like, so
I like that.
It doesn't
I like that
matter
voice. That was
what
good.
the subject is.
I think you
they're
got
number
it.
one.
Honey,
They're
you
number one.
got it.
Now, I will give him credit because there's points of CeeDee Lamb's games that I love to criticize. The point of catch. He doesn't have that 88 mentality in the sense of going back and getting the ball if it's not in his line. There has been times where we talked about where he has given up in the game or he thinks there's a pass interference. So, yeah.
I'm just going to say this, okay? I always, shower praises upon. I'm not here to crap on A.J. Brown.
Well, okay. I'm here too because I give him credit, but at the same time, he didn't get stopped by some old ass man.
If you're
CeeDee Lamb didn't get stopped by some old ass man that he was calling shit on.
I'm saying, if you're gonna sit there and say A.J. Brown's better than CeeDee Lamb and act like it's not close, you're clueless.
Well, here's the thing, he's a receiver now. Cooper Kupp, number one wide receiver in their offense until he went down, and they had to figure out another person. And so here goes Puka Nacua, just all of a sudden the rookie year, amazingly. Now with Kupp, they run him on the sideline, they run him in the slot, they run him around and they get him all over the field. That's what they do. Yeah.
I mean, Phil, to sit there and say that there's one receiver on the Dallas Cowboys, because everybody's shit on Brandon Cooks. Everybody's saying that he's cooked, okay? I don't believe he's cooked, but last year
I think he's gonna have a better year this year than he did last year.
And he was coming on, but as Mark likes to say, be that as it may, you just got done saying he was the only game in town, meaning CD. You could double team CD. Clearly, he beat the double team and he busted ass. Okay,
and you knew who they were going to, and you couldn't stop it.
My only problem is when you can't even give any area.
Chris May, I agree with you right there. That is the difference. That it's not he's a slot. He's the outside receiver. Well, CD's an outside receiver
for you, Chris
They're
May.
Different receivers.
Here's the difference between CeeDee Lamb and CeeDee has to mature a little bit. Here's the difference between CeeDee Lamb and A.J. Brown. If CeeDee Lamb gets hurt and he's not playing in a game, let alone a playoff game, he would be on the sideline, supporting his team. Do you know where A.J. Brown was last year in the playoffs? He's a horrible teammate, okay?
Talking his shit in the media.
He was in an Atlantic City casino talking his shit, rolling the dice, okay? So for Philly 500 to sit there and sing the praises of A.J. Brown, I don't have a problem with A.J. Brown. But when you match him up against CD, your numbers weren't as good as him, okay? When everybody was doubling CD because they was the only game in town, correct? We had no running game. All right, we had no running game last year, Phil. It was next to nothing. So everybody knew who was getting the ball, and he still caught the ball.
Well,
All I'm asking is if you can't even, extend that, then I don't got time for you, bro. You're not keeping it 100.
Here's the thing: is like AJ is their number one, CD's our number one. You don't have a guy like CD. We don't have a guy like AJ Brown. That's just how it is.
Different players, but if you're not going to give respect to CeeDee Lamb, he would never do what A.J. Brown did. He threw his whole team under the bus and went to Atlantic City because my boys were telling me that they were sending me pictures of A.J. Brown at a craps
I love his
table.
sideline catches. This is amazing. It's just something he was able to do in Tennessee.
Light him up. If Hamid won't, Hamid, I'm responding to something Philly 500 said. If you don't like it, don't hang out here. All right? All right. Because I'm not in any kind of mood for you today.
I don't have the patience to jack with you today. Settle down just a little bit.
There it was.
All right? All right. Anyway, let's get to the chat, everybody. I just had to clear that up because, again, I keep things 100. If we can't keep it 100...
All I know was the last time when he got drafted.
You're not going to give us anything? Go ahead, Phil. Go ahead.
Let me just say that when he got drafted, that was not what Philly 500 was screaming at the top of his lungs. Why do they need a wide receiver? And the CeeDee Lamb, remember his CeeDee Lamb little rants when he got drafted?
You have Amari Cooper and Gallup, but we don't need a receiver? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That wasn't a guy that was like, oh, man, that shucks. The Cowboys got a sorry-ass receiver. No, man, that guy was almost crying on there. So
Don't compare A.J. Brown to CeeDee Lamb. Okay,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
I mean, they're close.
a
Nobody's
team
saying
got
they're not,
rid.
but don't shit
A
on
team,
CD.
a team got rid of AJ Brown. Nobody's gotten rid of CD Lamb. You know, whether he leaves or whatever because of the stupidity of the Joneses, that's a whole different story.
He's going to be signed in no time. So all you Dallas haters who don't want to see CD Lamb come back, you're going to be upset. Okay, and anybody who loves CD, you're going to be happy.
But hey, let's be real. We both like AJ Brown too. We just like.
I love AJ Brown, but don't shit on my guy just because you're an Eagle fan, Philly.
What's going on?
I'm
Jojo?
coming for your meats, Philly. Anyway, let's get to the chat. Ward family, what's up, my man? JJ, Lady Libra, Mike Aldana, Hamid, you're skating on thin ice. Mike Aldana, Vinny Hagan, what's up? What's up, Vinny? Who else we got in the house? JJ, Devil Dog. Let's see who. Asman 30. Brian, you need to go to training camp. Or Phil, you need to go to training camp with Brian. We just got done having a conversation, Asman. We are looking at training camp the following year, but we're seriously we're looking at going to the Dallas Eagle game at AT&T Stadium. Maybe you should come to us, my man. We would love to break bread at the tailgate outside of AT&T. Elena Walker, Arturo, what's up, brother? Hey, brother. A T-shirt is in the mail. Clemente, what's up, my man? Ward family, I think I got you. Chris May, what's up, brother? West Virginia country boy. We got a decent crowd in here tonight. We got Glimmer Man, Thomas Garrett is in the house. All right, well, you can get to some of the chat. I think I got Brad Harris, what's up, brother? How you making out?
You got some nice trash talking. It's nice. It
Diener,
makes you
what's
feel
up,
like
Jet? How
there's
you
football
doing?
in the air. There's a little bit of football in the air. I've been watching these NBA playoffs. They've been
What's
pretty
up,
interesting.
Demetrius?
They've been really good.
Rob
good games.
A. Rob A. I'm not saying he's not, brother. You know that. AJ did it, but again, Rob, I had buddies who send me pictures of AJ Brown while the team was getting okay. I mean, you guys want me to remind you? I'm not trolling, but after watching that today, Mark needs help with these debates, man. He's not ready to go. But just here you go.
Yeah.
Just
he's I like it where he smells. And
this
you're just
is,
no, Mark, you don't say that, dude.
This is what happened last year in a playoff game. Okay, I want to show you something. Do you know who was favored in the game? Look at this down here.
Oh yeah, Philly was big time.
The Eagles were favored by 3.5. Okay. In Raymond James, which we won the year prior, right? And we got no credit for going in and beating Tom Brady.
Tom Brady, yeah, it was a whole different.
Dak had a perfect QB rating, but he sucks in the playoffs. I get it. He can't get past the wild card round. I get it. I've heard it at times. I'm not here to talk Dak tonight, but give me a break. This is what happened in your last game. You were a favorite going into the game. Look at the time of possession, 34-25. I'm just trying to remind you, look at the total yards. Baker Mayfield lit this team up. 426 to 276. First downs, 23-13. I'm here, to say I don't see there.
I mean, trust me, we didn't.
There's my guy.
Ourselves. At least we did ours against probably a future star compared to kind of like a has-been a little bit. I think that's the only thing that you can feel a little bit better about. But otherwise, I mean, we blew our shit too. So
listen, look at Devontae Smith. He had a hell of a game. He's a gamer. He's a gamer. I love Devontae Smith. You know what AJ Brown was? Right? He wasn't on the sideline helping his team. He quit on the team. He had an injury. He was in Atlantic City talking shit. Okay? So I just want you to understand, Rob, that I got to defend my team. That's all. I'm not here to crap on AJ, but if Philly 500 is going to crap on my guy, then I need to answer, and I need to answer in kind. Okay. Hell yeah. Anyway, what's up, David Cowboy? So who am I missing? Mike Hunt. Yeah, I'm a Phillies fan. So what's that mean, bro? I hope that's...
No, you're talking about... Somebody was asking if you're a baseball fan. So
yeah, I was watching the bench clearing. What's up? I'm not mad at you, game time, defending. Yeah. Listen, I'm not even here arguing. Me and Phil will tell you, we're not arguing CD versus AJ. But don't act as though...
I think the real debate becomes after that. I mean,
Brian, join Mark on Dan Silio, so needs help.
They have a really good thing for Devontae Smith. I mean, he had a hell of a game, especially when he needed to, and he's really good as a number 2. And then Cooks was coming on at the end of the year. Okay, who's the better on that one? Who's the better third receiver? Who's the better tight end? You know, so those are some good debates. I think with there. I think Dallas is a little bit above where Jake is, but I think Jake's ceiling's a little bit higher. So I mean, there's some debates.
You're
There's some
going in the
definitely
hopper.
debates in there, and so I think the defense is where it kind of gets lopsided. Probably defensive tackles, you're gonna give it to them, but you know, for the rest of the defense is a lot for the Cowboys. But I mean, I'd say a couple of years you'll have a legit defense there, but yeah, you need to keep on building it. But that was some good pieces that they added this year. You're just not going to add it all.
Yeah, I'm not here to crap on the Eagles. I've already said if I'm picking today, I have them winning the division.
Them, yeah. I would have them winning division too.
Listen, Ginger and everybody else, we are up to $58 towards our next drawing. As you know, I draw at 75, so we are less than $20 away from our next drawing. Rob A, shout out to Rob. He already purchased one. These are my hats. There you go. We got the Eagle Kelly Green Game Time Ryan. We got this one here that I'm wearing. It's the navy blue and silver with my star logo. And then we got the black Game Time.
Man, every time I see a thing on Luke Schoonmaker, I'm just like, do we just go ahead and cut our losses now? Like, do we keep him on the roster as that dude that just won't be technically healthy all the time? And is he our Blake Jarwin now? And, you know, Escobar, like just guys that, you know, it's just, man, that one feels such. I think the only two guys that I'm feeling good about from last year's draft is probably like Deuce a little bit, because if they can use him right, and, you know, probably even Fehoko. I mean, the rest of the team is like, come on, guys, let's.
You want an Eagle Green hat, Brad? I didn't think you would want an Eagle Green hat. You want the blue one? That's what I was going to ask you, Brad. I'm getting royal blue next week. That's why I was going to ask you. You going to get the navy? I'm getting royal blue next week. So, but anyway, yeah, I just got him. We'll make that happen, Bradley. But anyway, how's everybody doing? Schoonmaker is like N'Kobe Dean. Again,
he's not wrong. He might not be wrong there. That is like a pretty accurate. That's a wow.
Here's the difference. Here's the difference. Rob Schoonmaker's he's a big boy. He has a history of being able to block. N'Kobe Dean was more of a sideline to sideline, feasted in that Georgia defense behind that.
Maybe get N'Kobe Dean into the special teams. I mean, maybe get him involved.
What's
in
up,
that
Dirty
whole thing,
Sanchez?
You know, that's what we kind of had to do with Sam Williams a little bit. You know, they weren't utilizing him. And so maybe if you put him on there, he could be special team ace. And all of a sudden that draft pick isn't as scary, you know.
Elena, here, I'm going to email me, Elena, at GameTimeBrian@gmail.com. I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, so I've been watching, I guess, you know, there's been some there's been some things that, you know, we're talking. Of course, you're hearing the CeeDee Lamb stuff. You know, in the middle of training camp is where they're going to look like they're going to be getting that handled with his contract, and probably most likely be the first one. And then of course Parsons finally coming back next week for these.
Yeah, Parsons will be there again.
Yeah.
It's just
I just want to see him I want to get him involved with Tyler Guyton and some of these guys, so they can really start to feel like, okay, this is what I'm going to need to bring my level up to in order to really be an NFL tackle, especially when you're going against guys like Law and you know, Parsons and even Sam Williams. Let's be real. Nealon, I've been hearing some great things about Nealon. That one's getting me a little bit more excited about that pick because I liked his potential, but to hear what's coming out of the training camps, I really like that whole that side of him.
Oh yeah, Nealon won many times.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Nealon won many times again.
You can see him holding those edges really well.
Again, you know, it's funny. We're not allowed to rely. David Cowboy, what's up? Go Cowboys! Suck it, Eagles. Love it. I love it. I got you, David Cowboy.
Thank you, Brad. Appreciate that.
Let's see, $7.
I'm glad to be back, man.
We're at 65,
he was trying,
so we're 10 away.
he understood if I wasn't going to be able to make it today, but I was like, no, man, I'm ready to go.
Well, I told him, like Phil, I know he wasn't doing well, but I know that we wanted to ramp it up before the draft. I didn't know if he still wanted to hold up on the schedule. That was all. Let's see, David Cowboy.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, Robbie. I mean, he's going to have to go against those defensive tackles because let's be real. I mean, almost every single
10 more
team
for our next
has
drawing.
a defensive tackle that can rush. And, the most of the time you want them rushing on that blind side. So he's definitely going to have to bring up that game.
Yeah, I mean, here's my thing, Elena, and I'll talk to you since you're like one of the Eagle fans, and Rob. My only thing is, how come you guys can rely on rookies, right? Even Philly 500 says that Bradbury stinks, and so that would mean that you're going to have to rely on a rookie, right? Opposite a 32-year-old declining a Darius Slay. He didn't have a great year last year.
I think odds are one of those.
But I mean, that's fine. But how come you guys can rely on him, but yet we can't rely on none of our rookies? You got rookies. You guys suck. That's where I call foul. Listen, why can't we both? What's up, Virus?
I had Will McClay in the building today.
Did you?
My guys were teasing me. It's like, yeah, in their break, just go ahead and stick all your podcasts.
Dude,
Excuse me, I'm just setting him up. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. You
need to step up, Phil, and lock these bitches down.
Hey, man, I didn't want to get Will sick and then and mess up his whole thing. It's like, and then all of a sudden I'm getting blamed on the side. And Mark, it don't take him much before he's blaming you.
Lady Libra, she is in. She has put us at 75, so we have at least one drawing going off. And
but you need good veterans.
Let me write her name down. Brad.
You need a mentor that's actually good in order to teach those young guys. So like we have an Al Harris, we have a Diggs, we got some guys on the defensive side that can teach our younger guys. Who like you got to coach,
Harris,
but it's just
supporting the channel. These two amazing men. Thanks, Brad. So we are 55 away.
I think
for our
one
next
of them
drawing.
is bound to hit. I think one of them is going to be a star. Other one might have injuries. It's going to be something stupid like that. That's always how it is. Like I always think back to ours with Maurice Claiborne. That's the one that always gets me. He's such a high thing, and then we get him in the first round, and that guy just injured all the time. Occasionally would make a play, enough to get you excited, but you're just like, oh man, that was just a waste.
Thanks, Brad. That's all. That's my only thing,
you're
people.
So correct. Yeah.
There's the why, again, I don't know why we got to play this game where Eagles are allowed to have rookies that you're relying on. You're relying on Cooper DeJean. Make no mistake, you have to. I mean, it's just frustrating, man. I don't know why I let it bother me. We need Calais Campbell, Arturo. We shall see.
I at least feel like this year, both teams, Dallas and the Eagles, they have the right to kind of trash talk each other. They're the contenders. It's the Washington guys, that are going to be just like they are every single year. They don't know what team they have. They assume they have a really good team. We drafted a bunch of people. It seems like we would hit them. It's just all that. Will that translate in anything? Are you going to hear them bark a lot in the beginning of the season, and then all of a sudden they just disappear by game 7 or 8 because hey, we're still learning. The quarterback.
What's up, Omar?
I saw that picture of Forbes. You see that? Like, it looks like he's sick a little bit. I don't know. Like, he's just really, really thin.
Yeah,
so
he wants to know, Omar wants to know our thoughts regarding a Carson. I would assume that's Kalen Carson. And what's DeBerry? Do we know who that is?
Carson.
Well, that's Kalen Carson.
Yeah, Carson.
I'm very
probably
high.
Eric. You probably think about Eric Berry.
No,
maybe?
I don't know.
Who
Omar, who you talking
Eric
about?
Scott.
I know Kalen Carson. I know that. That's a big deal.
Seatbelt.
I love the walking seatbelt. Again,
Yeah,
we
I like
got
his
more players that nobody knows about, which is good. So I'm fine. Like, keep me shitting on our
when I watch
secondary.
his film and you hear, I mean, Al Harris, he had that pet cat last year. This sounds like it's his pet cat this year.
Actually,
Carson's
Rob,
that guy. You watched his film and he was right on the hip and everything like that. And I told Brian, I was like, look, in his game as of right now, before he goes and see Al Harris, there is flaws in his game. People can catch over him. A good wide receiver can catch the ball over his head. Keon Coleman, he had opportunities. He just never followed through because, Carson was really good at putting his hands in at the end. But if he can get some coaching, I think he can turn those, because he was always on the hip. And if he can turn those into looking back and getting to the ball, I just think he's going to be the same with everything. I mean, he's going to be able to make interceptions, but occasionally he's going to take a gamble, and it's going to be risky, and he'll get beat for something big. So you have a lot of those type of guys on this defense.
Rob A says Mitchell will not be rushed in there where Dallas has very little depth. Actually, Rob, with the draft picks, we are loaded on the offensive line, but I agree. If you saw my morning video this morning, Rob, I think the secret sauce is 12 personnel to start out the season, because again, a rookie left tackle, as good as everybody thinks Guyton's going to be, and Dallas has a track record, I will offer that he's going to struggle early. So
Rob, that's how they all are. I think even Diggs is the same way. Diggs got hell of a ball skills. He can block some stuff. But he takes a gamble occasionally. And occasionally they'll take one on to the house on him. You have to. That's why you have to have that good safety for them to be on the same page. When you saw, what was his name, KZ?
DeMonte KZ.
Yeah, that dude was so wild that you couldn't.
He was horrible.
He was like, and he
How
was
does
not
that
terrible, but the fact
know.
that he would blow the coverage, and that's what would cause the big plays, was because he was so out of coverage.
12. First thing, Drew, game time. How are we relying more on rookies than you? We got no rookies other than a couple. Then we're going, like right now we have a veteran starting at center, worst case scenario. We drafted a beast that could come in, and if he replaces him, then fine. Okay, our left tackle, that's one.
Yeah, but think about this. Even if Tyron Smith is here, you needed that guy. You needed to get that tackle.
What other rookie are we relying on, Phil? I'm asking you.
No,
we're not. We have no other rookies in our lineup that we're relying on.
Yeah, I mean, Brock Hoffman is the guy.
Brock Hoffman is the starter right now. He started multiple games last year at center. I'm asking Phil, is there anybody else that's a rookie that we are relying on?
I'd probably say our linebacker, maybe just a linebacker.
All right, well,
but he's a great one. So it's
Eric Hendricks, who had over 100 tackles. Yeah. That's more than any
Overshown hasn't really shown anything. And so I think that's where your linebacker. We got Devon
Clark, who's not a rookie. So I don't know what you're talking about.
So
Drew.
you don't.
That's
he's
wrong.
just gonna be a rotational guy. I would say just that offensive tackle.
We got Marshawn Nealand, okay, but he's behind Micah.
Yeah, and he's behind Lawrence, and he's behind Williams. I mean, Williams will probably get one side, and he'll get the other side. Yeah,
you're literally
he's not starter.
You're going to count on multiple rookies in your secondary.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I know you got C.J. Gardner-Johnson. I get it, but DeJean is going to take his spot eventually, probably next year.
Yeah,
DeJean, they haven't played on the
middle of next year. Something could be an injury, it could be something that's going to happen that's caused him to get into the lineup. He may not get out of the lineup.
And, all right, so he says 12 personnel is going to limit Dak. I totally disagree with that.
No, I don't agree with that at all. Dak is amazing.
Dak needs a running game.
Yeah, and actually, if anything, we've been screaming more about
just like Jalen
because he's great with the tight ends. He's great with the tight ends,
right? I mean, Jalen Hurts needs a running game, whether it's him running or read optioning to Saquon or DeAndre Swift, who I think is a hell of a back and I like better than Saquon. But regardless, you got a good back. No, actually, no, Drew. The strength of our team is our tight ends, is CD, is
I would
Cooks.
say our tight ends are way more than our wide receivers. I mean, as much as I love Tolbert, I love that potential. He's still a very unproven number three.
David Cowboy.
I love Jalen Brooks. I think he's going to be a good possession receiver. Still very questionable.
Dave Thompson, shout out to you, brother. Phil, read his first comment.
Dave Thompson, where's that? If our left tackle has trouble, we'll kick Smith out there and play bat. Exactly. Or he's
already played left tackle.
Like it's just pick one. I mean,
that's why I was telling Rob A. I'm not here touting Dallas, but if we're gonna, Drew, I'm sorry, brother, but if you're gonna say things that just aren't true, then we're gonna give you the facts. Only because you don't know the ins and outs of the Cowboys. Dallas. That's actually one of McCarthy's flaws, Phil, in my opinion, is that he relies on his veterans too much.
I agree. That one I agree on a big time. And that's how, let's be real. I mean, sometimes coaching staffs are like that. Coaching guys have their, ooh, I like this guy. He always comes in early and he always leaves late and stuff. And even though this is an amazing talent that can just bust people's ass off the line, I love this guy's work ethic. And me and him can talk about, what was that guy? We could play poker and we could play checkers and it doesn't matter because he's an amazing talent. And it's just like, he's just competitive. So you don't know what that offensive lineman, we both like spaghetti, mom's spaghetti, we shared a moment. I don't know what it is.
I don't even know what
that
means, Drew. Sorry, brother. I don't.
Game time. Then don't tell me that Dan and others.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not telling you nothing about Dan. I'm telling you that you don't know my team like I don't know the ins and outs of the Eagles as much as you, but I think I know more about the Eagles than you do about the Cowboys. I'm just going to lay that on the line. But again, hey, it is what it is. Glimmerman, geez, Tyler played left tackle his rookie year, was almost a rookie player of the year. Hey, Glimmerman, don't say facts because then that would make other people not look as smart as they think they are. I'm sorry, but that's a fact. They're trying not to put him out there at left tackle. I don't know the reason. Do you, Phil?
I don't know.
Maybe he don't want to play left tackle. I don't know.
I think it's one of those things. Is like, you have an all-pro at that guard position, so you're just going to leave him just like you did with Zach Martin. Yeah, we have an all-pro at this position every single year, in and out. I think that's what they've just decided. If we just stick them, and we can go find a left tackle. I'm still a little baffled by that because I thought, man, if you can get a left tackle and find it, don't you want to solidify that? And if Tyler Smith did as amazingly as he did his rookie year, I think he would just be improving.
Exactly.
But I mean, maybe that's just me. But I think it would just have been easier to find a left guard than it would have been to find a left tackle, and you wouldn't have been in the position you were in. Kind of just, okay, you could have probably traded back again. But you never know. Here in a year or two, we could be talking about, man, I'm tired. I'm so happy we didn't trade back again. I'm glad we got.
If I'm Tyler Smith's agent, I'd be like, no, we want to play left tackle. But
they don't seem to. They don't seem to want to.
Right, but that just tells you the player's being honest and telling you what he wants, and he's not about the money. He's about becoming the best at that position. Kind of like what Zach Martin did at right guard as opposed to playing right tackle. Zach Martin's a first ballot Hall of Famer, people, on the right side as a guard. There's nothing wrong with that.
I get excited about BB with the potential of center. Even if it's not this year, I love that potential there.
The flexibility is so friggin' impressive. Dirty Sanchez, if they end up moving on from Dak, I think they should put all their stock into the rest of the team and make it scary, then look for a quarterback. Again, this is my problem, Dirty Sanchez. You don't get rid of a quarterback and then look for a quarterback. That's not how it's supposed to be.
Man, but you have one. Let's be real. I would take a gamble, go 3 years, Trey Lance. If you're going to get rid of that,
I would too.
Go 3-year Trey Lance contract and then find your backup. Have your backup plan with your drafting it, whether you're doing everything. Yeah. You could find that and then build a team around him. And you give it 2 or 3 years. 2 years, you could get out of that contract. You know how it is. So to me, you had potential to at least have something there. You may turn around and find 6 games into it that Trey Lance can't hold up. But as of right now, there's nothing other than that history of possibly getting injury, that could be there. But again, if you're fixing your line up a little bit, maybe you don't have that problem because let's be real. Green Bay definitely had a decimated offensive line by the time when he was there. Sorry.
No.
I'm just sorry about that.
Yeah. Rob A, they don't want to pay him left tackle money. He's so good he will break the bank. Yeah, I don't know if he's that good, but he's better than average. He's already played.
He would get top 5.
Here's the deal. They're going to play their best 5, Rob. And if that means, God forbid, Guyton's out for injury or something, they're going to move Tyler to left tackle. They're not going to go long-term with Chuma Edoga. That's not going to happen. But then you have Tyler. You have T.J. Bass, who played last year, right? We have T.J. Bass. We have the Juggernaut. We have just a lot of options now. I'm telling you, it's good that the people.
There's some guys there. Awesome Richards, I think that's another one that gets lost in there. I really like the Lindstrom possibility, and I think a lot of people forget him. He's a practice squad guy, still in the mixture of that center. And you know how those undrafted free agents tend to like come into this team and like to take over. But I think that's what you're getting. I mean, if you're getting one of those guys that are undrafted and you're putting them into the center, you're right there back where you were with Tyler Biadasz. It's just a guy that can't get to the next level.
What's up, Rojas? What's
doesn't
up,
have
Felix?
the strength to push linebackers off. So that's why I like a guy like BB, because I mean, I don't know, man. I'm still baffled. To me, I'm still baffled how he dropped that far, because you saw it in the mocks. We were picking him up.
You almost
I could not see that.
I got
shit.
news for you, Phil. You almost nailed the draft because what's his name was there. Barton was there for us, and the reason why they didn't take Barton was because they had 4 players. They had 4 players, Phil, that they liked when they were on the clock. Barton being one of them. They had 5 picks before their next pick. And 3 of the 4 players went.
Yep.
And it was a defensive guy. It was obviously Barton went the next pick. I forget.
I have the tackle,
Yeah.
and then I picked.
But think about it. If they would have went
later,
Barton,
and I had the linebacker,
right? Like if they would have went Barton, and then BB, you would have nailed it. Now the reason why they didn't go Barton is because they valued the left tackle position over a guard position or center position. They just To me, like Barton was that guy, a lot like Zach Thomas. I would have been worried about left tackle if we would have went Barton, because I know that Tyler doesn't want to play. That was the only thing.
Who would you have gotten later on that you would have felt?
Well, that's the thing. I would have gotten that Blake Fisher out of Notre Dame or something. He was on the board. I would have gotten him, but then
a lot of question marks.
Yeah, again, you're dealing with question marks. So
and no defensive tackle. That's the truth, man. No matter what, you weren't. That's what we were talking about.
He was there, draft. Rob.
Like, there was not going to be somebody there that you were going to feel comfortable.
Dak McNabb
getting defensive tackle, and you're going to be all like, "All right, we got our guy." It's just I don't give a shit who you got out of this draft. You weren't going to feel like you got your guy. You know, even at the end of that first round, you got a defensive tackle. You would definitely still not have felt like we got that guy. So
Linda,
there was nobody in this draft that I felt that way.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Phil. I do. Linda says, "Do you guys?" No, BB and Guyton will pay dividends, but be patient. I hear you, Linda, but this is not a patience league anymore. It's not, unfortunately, just like the Eagles.
I mean, obviously, Guyton's going to be thrown in there. He's going to be thrust. It's BB that I'm thinking, is he going to be eventually a rotational guy? Is he going to be able to battle for that first
day starter at guard? We'll
to me, yes. To me, you know how this coaching staff is.
What's up, inconsistent sniper?
So I mean, I'm in a little interested in that. I've been hearing really good things about the defensive line, in the sense of being taught by Greg Ellis compared to Durden. Nothing against Durden. Again, I enjoyed him. I just didn't think he was anything special.
If they cut Bradbury, they're throwing one of the rookies in there right away.
Sugar Daddy, man, whoo! Yeah. I think you might have a fact right there. To me, would put Guyton on the right tackle, Tyler Smith, slide him to the left tackle, and then put BB or TJ Bass into that left guard position. Bam! I love your idea.
That's
exactly.
That's an option. And Glimmerman brings up a point a little while ago. I missed it, but I went. He wants a new O-line coach. I'm not as high on Mike Solari either, Glimmerman. I'm just not. But again, I'll give him another shot.
G.I. Joe and shit.
Dak just does not have that dog in him. What's up, Joey Garcia? Welcome to the show, brother. Chris May. Get him. Who we got? Tommy Montoya. What's going on? How you feeling, Tommy? How you feeling, my man? I pray for you, my friend. What's good, game time? Salute, bro, from New Mexico. Tommy Montoya, he's got a lung disease. Everybody say a prayer for Tommy. Cutting Bradbury might happen, but he is not. I'm not saying you. I'm saying that's what Philly 500 said.
It'll probably be another year or two before.
I don't think he's on the team. Like, in my opinion, he ain't
that contract, man.
Yeah, like they're gonna save some money. So he's probably gonna be gone before the start of the season. But if not, that's fine. That's even better. That means he's on the field getting beat. That's all, Drew. I mean, I like Kenyon Mitchell, but I don't. It's just like Linda says, you want to give these players some time. They're not going to give Kenyon Mitchell. Howie was trying to move up from 22 the whole first round of the draft and couldn't do it. Yet the player falls to 22 and he gets his guy anyway. Shout out to Howie.
You're not wrong, man. We did not want Tyler Guyton, but we didn't want Tyler Smith last year either. So if you're going to put it on us in that sense, when we were talking about offensive tackles,
I didn't want.
We didn't want Tyler Smith.
Yeah, well, I didn't want what's his name out of Wisconsin.
Yeah, Fredericks.
Yeah, it's Travis
I
Frederick.
didn't want him.
wanted
I
no
was like,
part
who
of
the
Travis
heck is
Frederick.
this guy? A center? Really? And yeah, there is
Yeah,
so
there's a
many of
reason
these
why
first
Jason
round.
Kelce couldn't make the Pro Bowl. His name was Travis Frederick. Once he retired because of illness, then Kelce started making Pro Bowls. I mean, that's how good he was. I'm not saying he was better than Kelce every year. There was but that's how good of a player Travis Kelce. I mean,
Dave, that
he
was
was.
what got me. Dane Brugler did have him going to. It was just popping up. That's why we were kind of coming into terms with it, just because so many things were pointing at Tyler Guyton.
That was my first
being
mock,
that guy.
Dave. That was, but it's not a sexy pick.
But there were so many.
Yeah,
There were so many other ones that I would have rather grabbed there. But you know, again, it's better than what we could have had later in the draft.
Yeah, Drew. I'm not sitting there saying that Guyton is going to be the answer, but that's
I like
why
his work ethic now. So at least he's starting off. Right.
You're working with Duke Manyweather, and all reports that I'm hearing, he's doing just fine. But again, they haven't put the pads on. What's unique about him is his size, Drew, and the fact that his feet are unbelievably quick.
Yeah.
Where he's going to struggle early on in his careers against guys like the guy he's gonna face week 1 in Cleveland. Miles Garrett. Miles Garrett's gonna eat his lunch. So that's
just
why
saying, like when we talked
personnel.
about it, like what do you think in offensive snaps you're going, you know, how many of them are passed? Let's say 30 to 35 of them. If he allows one sack on there, he's lost it, you know, and even if he does amazingly all the other ones, you know, that it's easy how you can quickly lose that battle if when you're going against an all-pro. That's why he needs to start getting in there with Parsons and guys that have some weapons to that repertoire that he's gonna have to start learning, because right off the bat, man, it's sink or swim with this thing.
That's a good point, David Cowboy. I didn't like the Tyler Smith pick again. You know,
I was like, he looks like a chubby Amari Cooper, man.
You know what it was? It had nothing to do with Tyler, but I wanted other things, and clearly I was wrong.
Well, we had a second-round draft pick on him. Let's the second-round grade on him, but
who was right?
What we were picking too. Yeah,
they were. Again, you know, so it's like if we're gonna sit here and crap on Dallas, what you don't want to crap. There's a lot you can crap on Dallas for. Trust me.
Defensive tackle would be my
one technique, not invested in the linebacker properly, a timing of contracts. But the one thing you do not question Dallas in is them drafting offensive linemen, because they normally hit in the first round. They just do. I'm gonna say it again. They've drafted 4 first-round offensive linemen in their history, and all 4 have made it to a Pro Bowl. So I will rely on them. Now, I'm telling you, Drew, the early part of the season is going to be struggle for Guyton. That's why I was talking about the 12 personnel. It's going to be hard for McCarthy to do that, but that would help him. That would help him. That's all.
I think there's a lot of things that happened last year with the little switch. Of course, McCarthy and Dak's kind of first year doing this, so I
Philly 500 didn't give Dallas any credit, Drew. They needed
to change. They needed to change some stuff. You saw that happen after the San Francisco game. They needed to change stuff that was happening with Brandon Cooks. He got more involved towards the end of the season. So there was some stuff in that offense. I just think there's things there that you can't test until later on, and that's the running game. Those are the things that you can't test right now. And you saw Zeke with a little video. Oh, I'm avoiding trash cans. You're like, no, whatever, man. I was like, we're not playing the Eagles of week 1. So, you know, we're not used to avoiding trash. But that's the stuff you can't, you know, getting BB downhill, getting Guyton downhill, you know, seeing these running backs go out there and I haven't seen any of that. So that's the part to me on the offense that I really need to see in the preseason.
Well, hold up. No one hits on O-line like – no, Stoutland is a great, the offensive line coach. He is. But
those are all been top draft
He was
picks.
there when you drafted that fireman who was a bust, right?
Yeah, I would say there's been a lot of those top
I don't know if he
draft
was
wins,
there.
right?
I don't think he was there. Who was that guy, Drew? There was a fireman from Canada that you drafted. He was like 26 years old as a rookie.
Was that one that blew up the combine? Isn't that guy?
Maybe. I don't know. The run game will be fine with Zeke and Royce. I hope so. Dak
I do. The more seeing Royce now, and especially in his thing, it's just looking nice. It's actually could be something there. I'd be the first to tell you I wasn't giving really Royce any kind of doubt in the sense that I didn't think he was going to be in the rotation as much.
Danny
I thought maybe
something, yes.
camp body.
Danny. What was his name? Drew, I wasn't going to let that slide. What was his name? Danny something. Rob A. Google it, brother. Brian, he said Dallas back in better,
Danny
but
Watkins.
our front is better.
That's what someone said.
Yeah, listen, I just got to stick up for my guys, Alina. I'm always giving. See, I'm too nice, and I get it from my people. Oh, you're too nice. I just can't. That's the only way I know how to be. But yeah, some people just will shit on everything that we do. Okay, so we can't win back-to-back playoff games. Okay, that's a big deal. I get it, but whatever. Danny Watkins, bam, Hamid, yes. Now who? Danny Watkins. There it is. Bang. Why the hell? How the hell did I remember that? Why? Because I know what I'm talking about. I just don't know the name. I knew it was something. I knew he was a fireman. Danny Watkins, a cheaper ass. Brian, yeah, let's see. Drew, why are you worried? Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, relax, everybody. Stoutland took my lot and made him an all-pro beat right. Yeah, Jordan Mailata is good. He's very good.
I don't know, man. He's Australian, so it's just like it's one of those things where it's just
Was that Andy Reid?
tough son bitch, you know.
Yes, Linda.
You put him on
Trust
anything,
McClay
I think
for
he's gonna
picks.
be good at it.
Yeah, I would say he's the best offensive line coach in the league. Yes. Yep, I agree with you, Drew. He is. You know, our guy was coaching under Tom Landry. That's no lie. Mike Solari was an offensive line coach under Tom Landry. I like him old, but that's a bit old.
Back in my day,
When I was a
just-
kid.
when the ball got snapped, we smack him in the face, and then we'd rush him. You're like, all right, we don't do that nowadays. Get my old Three Stooges poke to the eye.
Yeah, he's old, man. He's old. I don't know how old. He's probably in his 70s, right? He's probably in his 70s. He remembers the days
You
of
remember the
glory hole.
mergers and shit. You remember the merger and everything.
So
That's why they try to count championships. He was like, I was around during those championships.
D.D. Lewis. Ooh, yes. You would think he would be better. Hudson Houck should. Yeah, I liked Hudson Houck the first time around. He remembers Noah. Yeah, right? Exactly.
Probably owed him like $5 or something.
He remembers Noah. So you don't have to question the firefighter's toughness. Nobody said he wasn't tough. He just couldn't block.
He could put out a fire, but he can't block it.
All right, Phil. I did a little thing the other day, but I wanted to ask you. I don't know, Jeff. You tell me how my twin is. That was a little scary to see that doppelganger. What are some of the big? I want to ask you, like some of the camp battles. What do you think in your mind? I have a bunch written down, but what position are you mainly looking for that camp battle? If you're,
there's actually
there's
three
a
to
bunch
four
of
that
them. Yeah.
there's a 3 to 4 that really catch my mind. I mean, we talked about it on the other channel where I said center to me is very fascinating just because I think both candidates are really tough. I love Hoffman and his leadership part of it. And I think that's what you need from a center. But I love BB and his, as you say, the juggernaut part of him, being able to blast people off the ball. I love his awareness as well, his football mind. So I think that one to me is my main one. Wide receiver when it comes to 3-4, cornerback when it comes to 3-4. I'm really interested to see those guys stepping up because, I don't question CeeDee Lamb. I don't really question Brandon Cooks too much not because of Brandon Cooks last year or whatever and the stepping up, but the previous years, his history says that he's at least effective if you can use him correctly. And Dallas started showing that at the end. But the cornerback position, once you get past Diggs and Bland, what's past that? It's like you don't have a Gilmore right now. What happens after June 1st? Is that a possibility of bringing him back in there? Or is he just a progress stopper because you like the potential for some of these other
I don't
guys?
think they're bringing him back. I like where you're going there. I do. But yeah, like looking at Eric Scott, he came out today. Eric Scott was the guy we drafted last year. Looked really good early on in preseason, then kind of dropped off a little bit. But we drafted him in a 6th and traded a 5th in this past year's draft to go up.
Which
and
could have been
get
a running
him.
back.
Yeah, exactly. So you got Eric Scott Jr. Obviously, we got Bland.
Those are the two guys I want off the team. Josh Ball and Walesko.
Yeah.
If I got to see something from Walesko, I've already given up on Josh Ball.
Yeah, Josh.
The
Ball
moment that
gone.
he answered that question wrong about his history and how he just didn't want to talk about it instead of owning up to it like a man. That's the moment that I kind of
Josh DeBerry. Okay, I got you now. We must have signed another restricted free agent out of Texas A&M, Josh DeBerry. I got you. But me and Phil like Kalen Carson a lot.
I like him a lot more than Scott. I definitely, after watching Scott last year in the preseason getting burnt, that was where I was like, oh, okay.
That was, but that was more of a. He was lost in the scheme.
I agree.
He was lost
because his hips are getting turned.
And confused. Whereas Zimmer's defense may actually help Eric Scott because he plays more of a the human seatbelt was going to fit great in it. That's a perfect player for this system. He likes to play jam, up coverage. He likes to have his corners up tight. Don't forget we got Jordan Lewis who does nothing but make plays.
Jordan. I do like Jordan Lewis. I'm a Jordan Lewis fan. I liked him since I saw his.
I was trying to get rid of him. But
I still think he's a good third. He gives you that interception when you least expect it. He punches the ball out. He's there. He's a playmaker. And that's where I want to see guys like Wanye Thomas get more into the secondary. That's why I love Jaron Kearse. I love what he brought to this defense. But if that's who you're kind of getting rid of to put a guy like Wanye Thomas in there, I'm not going to argue, man. I'm a big Wanye fan. You may not like his game, but for some reason, when that guy is in the game, turnovers happen. And why would you not want that in your, it's kind of like you're tipping the balance of luck a little bit. It's just, there just seems to be one.
It says, nope, our steal of the draft was the Cowboys' 4th round pick. Who are we talking about?
Yeah, the one the Trey Lance, is that what you're talking about?
Oh, I guess. Yeah, I guess. What's up, Mark? How are you, man? I started the show off defending you, holding back the trolls, man. You walked into a hornet's nest this afternoon, but that's how, exactly, Mark. I stuck up for you. I played the part where Philly 500 was talking about A.J. Brown and how much better he is at the end than CeeDee Lamb. I was just laughing at that. It didn't make much sense, but it did speak to the Philly audience, so that's what happens. And that's what happens. It's more of a beatdown mentality where, we're just going to yell louder, and so we're right. When in reality, hey, Mark, do you know where A.J. Brown was during the playoff game? He was in an Atlantic City casino and talking shit on his team who was getting their ass kicked in Tampa. And I'm not.
Wasn't he deleting Eagle content from his Instagrams and his Twitters?
Yeah, he was washing all of his social media. He's throwing Jalen under the bus like everybody was at the end of the year because Jalen wasn't much of a leader. And that's a fact. He has to grow
that's another
up.
thing that I've been hearing. Like okay, I'm going to point this out a little bit because I'm curious. The moment that Dak had Trey, what did he start doing? He started teaching Trey. Hey, this is what you do. This is how you do in that situation. No, he's going to make him better.
Google it, Hamid. Google
it. Hurts. The moment that they got Pickett, I've been hearing some really bad stuff from the locker room.
Yeah, he's got a blank stare on his face when as opposed to, and again, I'm just saying this is how the season ended last year. Yeah, we're just going to Kellen Moore is going to magically come in and sprinkle fairy dust all over everybody, and it's going to make everything great.
I think it's a better offense for him. than any of the other ones. I mean, obviously you had the other one
I
when they
like
went
to
the Super
read
Bowl year.
option.
That was a great
Yeah.
offense that they put around them. But again, like I think it's going to be a better offense for them than it was for the Cowboys, for example. Just didn't make
Yeah.
any sense for us. You're
Yeah.
not giving. I think what happened with a lot of the stuff where you're seeing, and I think this is the smarts of your team has got to really come out, Philly fans, because Kellen Moore is all about the option routes between your quarterback and your wide receiver. And if your wide receiver runs the option because he sees it differently than Hurts, which is not great at reading coverages, I could see a lot more interceptions this year compared to previous years. I think that's the only negative. I think the curl routes and all that stuff can be really beneficial because if he's pretending to roll out and then he can get somebody that's wide open just sitting there, that's going to open up a lot. Your tight ends, your slot receivers. But again, if you're relying on those option routes, which Kellen Moore loves option routes, I think that's where you can get into trouble.
Well, it's really all over.
But you need the team to be able to run those option routes. I mean, you need to have a smart team. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're talking also about a team, and that's why I will never see with Hurts. It's like he came up and he was put around a team in Alabama. He was put around a team like he's always had a big team around him. And so when it relies all on him and he doesn't have those options, you don't have that greatness. And let's be real, Dak is a 4th round draft pick. What can you expect from a guy like that? I think he's gotten better, but he still, again, needs a team around him. So, I mean, both to me, they fall so many in different categories in the sense that, yeah, they're really good and they can elevate some people, but they also need those weapons around them and they need a good defense to keep them into games.
Dak Delusional says option Roots won last 3 Super Bowls. Listen, I like for Jalen.
How can you disagree with that, man? He's had a team everywhere he's gone. He's had receivers everywhere he's gone.
Who's that?
He has Hurts.
Yeah,
that's who it is. Like he's had everywhere.
I mean,
so
again, if we go back to last year, Dak had who? We didn't have a running game, people. The fact that we won 12 games, it goes back to that bogus schedule that we had, right? We had an easy schedule. We had an easy schedule last year, Dallas fans. Now, I understand you can only win against who you play. I get that. But we had an easy schedule.
I love Dak too, but for some reason that guy gets a hard time getting going in a game. Game is on the line. This is an elimination. I'll start playing in the second quarter. But let's be real, man. You cannot play like that.
Second quarter.
Yep. That shit is just that right there.
Again, in Tampa, that's not an easy place to play, as you saw last year in the Eagles playoff game. He was lights out road playoff game the year before. So again, it is what it is. But
look at his first year. They were building for Carson Wentz. They were putting these weapons around him. It's just and then anytime you turn around, if you especially yank a quarterback out and put a new quarterback in, that gives you life. It's different. This guy likes to run all the time. This guy does this and stuff. What happened to the Wildcat offense when the Miami threw it in? That first year, it fucking blew up, didn't it? Mm-hmm. It was, oh man, they revolutionized football. But that next year, it wasn't crap because there was film on it and stuff like that. So it's just, that's what I'm talking about. It's just, once the film is it, can you beat your film? And you got some guys that can,
West Virginia.
Some guys
it's
that
still
can't.
A road playoff game, brother. I'm sorry. Yeah. It's still a road playoff game. Anytime we start couching road playoff wins, I think we're going down a slippery slope of West Virginia.
Yeah, Rob, but I'm talking about Hurts in the sense of I'm not comparing them. I'm talking about
leave it alone. It says
right here. This is Hurts. This is Dak, and I again, they need talent around both of them. But he's saying my point, prime time, is Dak still has expectation. He doesn't get past for the 4th round pick. Yeah, and you're right because he's being paid that way. But let's be real. I mean, I could say it. Brian, can you say it as well too? Is Dak truly a $50 to $60 million quarterback? If you really, really had to point it down, you believe that's who he is.
What's up, EJB? What was the question?
Just saying, like Dak itself, is he the quarterback that's worthy the 50 to 60 mil?
Yeah.
You think so?
Well, I don't know.
No, well, I mean,
that's the market.
Obviously, Obviously, it's
not
it's
60. No, I'm not paying him 60. He already
Well, I
opened
mean,
his mouth.
obviously
I
this
got
year
his
you're gonna-
ass for 54 or less.
Yeah. So I mean,
Okay.
when I look at the
All
whole
right.
Dak thing,
I'm putting cases on all you bitches.
you are very correct. His expectations should be high because obviously he's getting paid. So yes, I definitely agree. But
He's the
to
white,
me,
or he's the black Kirk Cousins.
no man, he's the black
Dak McNabb.
he. Come on, you got to at least elevate him a little bit. He's at
Dak
least up there
McNabb.
with what's his name over in Buffalo.
No, not 60, Glimmerman. Definitely not. He won't be here if he wants 60. If he wants 54, and
I just, man, like to me, a $60 million quarterback is a guy that, like, I don't have a
What's up,
great team
Virginia
around me,
Green?
but I can elevate
Marcus
everybody and make them
McFarland.
better. I just don't see him that way, you know? So, I mean, obviously you have to pay him, you know, because it's the next man up. You know how the NFL works. That's why I'm with Ryan in the sense that if we're going to pull the Band-Aid off and continue on, then that's what we need to do. But
Pay that man his money.
pay his man his money otherwise. Otherwise, he's going to come back and play against you and whoop your ass. You know, just be real. He would whoop the Cowboys' ass. It was just revenge games.
We'll be fine. What's up, Danny's drum covers? Great content, Game Time. Thank you. We're having fun here. There's not much to talk about. Dak McNabb. Yeah, I know. I mean, but do you know what he didn't do, Hamid? He didn't puke in his Super Bowl and choke the game away. Yeah, why? Because we didn't get the one. Bang.
See, Rob, that's the thing is, I think not every single quarterback needs everything. Obviously, it doesn't matter who you are. I mean, my top guys that don't need that is Aaron Rodgers. But is it what? He's proving, if anything, that he needs those weapons, right? You know, he doesn't do shit. He needs at least an offensive line that can block. Didn't do anything with Green Bay, so I guess he proves that, you know, but you still feel like you could win with him in the
West
lineup.
Virginia.
You know, it's just all his dolphin humping mentality. You know, yeah, I mean, you are right in that sense. There's a lot more quarterbacks. I think there's probably only one or two that you don't need as much. Mahomes, he's always the exceptions, right? There's probably like one or two more quarterbacks that don't need as much weapons, but you know, even your guys
Dak McNabb.
Like Burrow, I mean, think about him. You think about Trevor Lawrence over there in Jacksonville. Those guys need weapons, and they're national championship guys, right?
Yes. Yeah, I think Mark got a little like upset with me, Phil.
Mark, yeah.
I don't know if you saw
upset
that. He asked me, he goes, "Well, who would you take? Like, would you?" I said, "I would take Trevor Lawrence over Dak." Well, it's younger guy, you know,
and he proved that he won a championship already.
I mean,
real,
younger
like,
guy, you know. Plus,
got
his
that
hair
Fabio
is so
hair
beautiful.
is like, yeah, man, like
it's flowing. It's like the guy in what was that movie with you know, with the Alabama football, you know, Sunshine.
Yeah. I know you're talking about. I know you're talking about.
His Sunshine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
now we're good,
that's
Drew. We're good with
No.
that. No, not 60. No, thank you.
No, thank you. No, thank you. Golly, you know, but man, just every time I see somebody new getting signed, it's just like, oh my God, what are these guys doing, man?
It's crazy. It's crazy. All right, I'm gonna do a drawing. We are $20 towards our next drawing. Did you want to come do this, sir? She's coming.
I'll be right over.
Oh, yeah, my wife's she's gonna do it. She needs to stir the shit up.
Glimmer,
better,
man,
though.
that's the thing about it is, man, the Bills are one of those ones. They could build a team and everything. I think Keon Coleman, again, I picked that one easily in the draft. I said, you need to replace Diggs, and you got a good replacement there.
Stir it up good.
But you still
Take it all up in there.
Yeah,
and it just
pick it up.
Am I wrong, or I don't feel like
Shake
that
it
team
up.
is complete yet? I
Oh
hope
my
so,
God, look
Curtis.
at the
I hope
hands.
it's. I mean, with them signing and with the bonuses,
Oh my God,
I mean,
the
obviously
hands.
those numbers can be dropped down quite a bit. With his contract, they got to wait, right?
I don't know. I need a very, very, very good stir. I don't want no complaints. No, nobody's complaining.
Yeah, I would be against. I wouldn't be against that, man. That's what I'm saying. If you 2 or 3 years for Trey Lance, at least to give it an experiment. Draft maybe somebody replacement. You got Cooper Rush back there. I mean, you could, he's shown that he can at least win a couple of games.
Got to do a
as
super
as
chat,
backup.
Tommy.
He's definitely not your answer.
Just one.
But you could at least try to find that next solution if Trey Lance doesn't work out. But I would not be against that because you could spend some money somewhere else where you need it.
I need another one.
Let's spend $20-something million on a defensive tackle that's going to be a difference maker compared to another 50 instead of
As much as you want, Tommy. There's no
something.
There's no number.
There you go.
She drew a blank.
Thank you, Curtis. Yeah, I'm feeling way better, man.
West
really
Virginia Country Boy is the winner.
Congratulations.
Sorry, I had a blank. Yeah, the first one. West
Best
Virginia
of luck, Tommy,
Country
man.
Boy.
Best of luck with your recovery.
So let me know what you want, West Virginia. I got hats. I do have this shirt that I'm giving away, but it is an XL. It's brand new with the tags. I got it at the Hall of Fame. It's got all the Dallas Cowboy Hall of Famers, including DeMarcus Ware, but it's only an XL. So if you're an XL and you want it, it's yours. If not, I got hats. I got hats. So let me know what you want, West Virginia.
The hats are where I like it.
Yeah, the hats cost me about $31 plus shipping. So it's $41 when it's all said and done. I'll take the shirt. This shirt here,
nice.
The XL of West Virginia. You want that one, brother? Let me know, because I only have it in an XL.
Yes.
All right, cool. Sold. You got it, my friend. Let me write this down. Get to the chat for me, Phil. Now, we are $20 towards our next drawing. So,
But
mean,
Rob, I mean, if you really
I need
think
another
about it,
$55, and then we can do another drawing. Don't have to be.
I think
tonight.
if any great Super Bowl kind of quarterback, you need a defense, man. As much as we could talk about his offense and what all he needs, I think they did what they could do right now with that. Unless you're going to go out and get some mega star wide receiver, it's just like, I just don't see it. You need to build that defense up because, man, like those ones where they have lost in those games, Dak still ended up scoring quite a bit. Yeah, it may have been later in the game, and that's the part that sucks about him. But he still got them up there, and they were just not in the game because of that defense, man. And we all know defense wins championships. And these teams that were in the Super Bowl this past year really proved that their defense is what kept them in the game in order for them to start scoring offensively to eventually push themselves into the Super Bowl. And so we really, really need that. We need a run stopping defense. We just do not have that at all. So yeah, there's definitely a lot that could improve with this team. And so that's why, I mean, there's a lot of question marks. I like a lot of the battles. I think Brian's brought them up. A lot of the battles is I love the potential of some of these guys, but again, we haven't seen any really pads on, hitting each other. How does he handle coming off of a block? How does he handle getting beat? Does he recover well? I mean, these are things that we need to know about these guys, right?
Exactly. Hey, West Virginia, just email me at that email, GameTimeBrian@gmail, your address, and I'll get it in the mail tomorrow, bro. And then I'll send you the tracking. Yeah, I agree with you, Phil. Beating Baltimore and San Francisco. Can't wait for a football season. Hey, Donnie's drum covers, man. I'm just looking forward to football. This is all fun for me. We could talk about the Eagles and the Cowboys. Listen, where I live, and it's what everybody's talking about. Don't anybody that's going to sit here and say Washington is winning the division, you're on drugs. They're going to be better.
Yeah.
But the fact your rookie quarterback is not going to come in and light it up. Their schedule is not easy, people.
I mean, look at it. Look at what we were talking about last year. We saw C.J. Stroud coming out. Oh, he's the best pro-ready quarterback. He's going to be an amazing year. We saw that. We knew that. Hey, guess what? Daniels, he's the Heisman Trophy winner, But I was saying this last year. Why? Why? I see so many quarterbacks that are better than him. Why is he that way? And
I mean, I like the kid.
I didn't even like Caleb Williams either.
He's a rookie. It is what it is. I mean, I think they can be better, but listen, I just want to. I mean, just
they'll have a quarterback that can at least run around a little bit,
Well, let's just take a look at their schedule real quick.
They're going to need it with Tyler Biadasz at center.
Let's look at their schedule a little bit. Let me open up my thing so we can.
Left hands up.
All right, here we go. Let's look at their schedule.
Season tickets available.
Let's see here.
Of course, regular season.
Okay, week 1 at Tampa.
As a regular season.
Yeah, I mean that's not easy, people. Tampa
No.
won a playoff game, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're really good usually in the openers.
So okay, week 2 home against the Giants, fine. So you're 1-1.
Yeah.
Week 3 at the Bengals, you're gonna go to and beat. That's not the easiest place to play. Can they win? Yeah, but I mean they're gonna be an underdog. Give me the Bengals. Week 4 at Arizona, they're not winning that game. Arizona, they beat both of our asses last year, and Kyler Murray's gonna have a full training camp. They got Marvin Harrison Jr. They ain't winning that game. Week 5, home against the Browns. He's going to beat the Browns defense. Week 6 at Baltimore. This is a hell of a schedule. So anybody that is talking shit that Washington's going to finish ahead of Dallas, you're on drugs. Put the mushrooms down. They're not winning at Ravens. So how many losses is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. You're 1-5. Maybe 2-4 if you play over your head in one of the game. That's not good. Okay, home against Panthers, home against Bears. Okay, win-win. Maybe they rattle some off at the Giants. Okay, possibly you're going to be an underdog. You know, I mean, Giants improved big time on their defense.
I think they can sweep the Giants.
Well, yeah, but Giants got Brian Burns. Giants went.
And you never know when Danny Dimes is going to actually pull out a game out of his ass.
I mean, they went and got a tight end. Yeah, they got the.
Well, they needed to, man.
Neighbors.
Waller's all like, I miss Carter.
Yeah, I miss my girl.
I miss my girl.
Yeah, they got Malik Neighbors, who was my number 1. Okay, I mean, that's not going to be an easy game. Home against Pittsburgh. Everybody and their mother is saying Pittsburgh's a better team, but yeah, they're going to
do. I think they're going to do the 2 quarterback system. One drive, it's going to be Russell, and the next drive, it's going to be Fields.
There's the win, right? Week 11. Do you think they're going to Philly and winning? Hell no. They're not, unless
they pull something out of their ass. Which is
unless Kenny Pickett is playing quarterback because of something stupid. They ain't winning that game. Okay, home against Dallas. I doubt it. Okay, maybe. Okay,
maybe.
I'm not gonna say it can't happen. Okay, home against Tennessee. Fine. They got the good bye week 14. Week 15 at New Orleans. Not an easy game.
I would say they probably lose that bye week, somehow.
Yeah. And then week 16, Eagles again. Okay. Eagles losing to Washington.
Yeah, and then you got Atlanta.
Week 17, home against Atlanta. If Dallas needs this game, there's no way in hell that you're winning that game. So Washington's Commanders have a ridiculously hard schedule, people. So stop it with the Commander love, please. Please.
Oxymoron.
Yeah, right. Can someone please pass the mushrooms? Would you please pass the jelly? Yeah, of course. Yeah, I would say a Giants and Washington are going to be fighting for the 4th. Yes.
Yeah.
I
almost don't know.
Tell you,
I would automatically put the Giants there, but man, I could easily see Washington being down there as well too.
Well, yeah, just for shits and giggles.
You talk about, I know we talk a lot of shit amongst each other between Philly and that, but man, you talk about a team that is really relying on rookies. That is Washington.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they went out and got the running back who was with the Chargers. What's his name? The little guy.
Eckler.
They got Austin Eckler. They got some talent on offense. They do have some talent on offense.
But again, Tyler Biotish, we understand what Tyler Biotish's problem is in that sense. So, I mean, you improve your offensive line a little bit, but it's not by much.
Yeah. But here's the, I'm just curious. I really haven't locked in on the Giants. Here's the Giants schedule. Okay.
Right off the bat. God dang. Detroit.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Yeah, home against the Vikings. Okay, I could possibly see it. At Commanders.
I don't know, man. The Vikings, well, who's their quarterback now? Oh, yeah, they got a rookie quarterback.
J.J. McCarthy.
But they still got a better team, I think, around them compared to what the Giants are.
But I don't know. I think Giants could win that at home. I think Giants win that game at home. At the Commanders. Okay. At the Browns. All right. So let's say they're 2-0 there. I don't know. Let's say they're 2-0.
2-1. They'll be 2-1.
They're 2-1. Dallas always beats the Giants. Sorry, 3-1 at Seattle a 2-2 at Seattle. They ain't going to Seattle winning. Lumen Field? Nope.
I don't have Geno fate at all.
Okay, so they're going. All right, so they're going into Seattle.
Well, no, I mean I still
I'm
think
just
they get
saying
their
they're going
ass
to be an
beat,
underdog.
but-
They're
Yeah,
going to be an
they are.
underdog. Home against the Bengals. I don't think the Bengals are going to be as good. So at least you got them at home. Home against the
But
Eagles.
still gonna get-
Eagles don't lose to the Giants either. They don't. Eagles always try and lose to Washington, but they don't lose to the Giants. At the Steelers, week 8. Nah, I don't know. I think they have an easier schedule than Washington, people. I would say this.
I would say too. Yeah.
Home against the Commanders, at the Panthers. They have a beautiful bye week, week 11. Home against Tampa. See, this is a good schedule for the Giants. At Dallas, okay, on Thanksgiving. Home against New Orleans, not in the Dome. That's a big deal. Home against the Ravens. I still think that's a loss, but at least it's home. At Atlanta. Home against the Colts, and then at the Eagles. I think that's a hell of a lot easier schedule than Washington. So I think that last spot is going to be a lot closer than what people think. But just wanted to touch on that. You know what I mean, Rob?
Yeah.
Like when you look at that schedule, it's...
I mean, when you look at the two teams, I mean, when you look at what they've been able to improve, I guess you would think Washington's defense was able to improve a lot more than New York's defense. And I mean, even though New York did sign some guys and get some guys in there for their defense, it's just, man, they really had a lot of holes in that team, and so you can't fill it all in one offseason.
Yep, I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. But all right, everybody, I guess that's about it. Yeah. Anybody wants to do another drawing? We are at 20. I will put my $20 on the thing, so we are 55 away from our next drawing. I'm going to start getting some items, too. I don't know like if they'll be signed items or what, but I will be going to the sports store and buying some stuff. You know, I'll buy some stuff that people would want to. But I do have hats.
They're always excited when they see you. When you come in, you're like, ooh.
If anybody wants a hat, email me at GameTimeBrian@gmail.com. Like I said, I got the navy blue star. I got, the... Actually, I haven't seen Chuck. I got to send Chuck. I didn't send him a hat because I don't know which one he wants. I got the silver. I got the eagle green hat. That is fire, people. It's with the black.
Tommy Montoya with the $2.
Ooh, Tommy, you're in the hopper. And
hope you feel better, man. I hope you start getting better. Hope you start healing. Positive thoughts. Positive.
Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about. I want to read this before I get out of here, but just get to the chat and I will write Tommy down and throw him in for next. Tommy, you'll be in the hopper for next time, buddy. So we are $22 towards our goal. So, $2.
Boom.
Thanks, Tommy. I appreciate you, buddy.
Into the hopper. Yeah, I appreciate you guys putting up with my ass. I know I am still a little sick.
Yeah,
so
I can tell.
I want to sneeze. I'm still coughing here and there, but it's nice to be back in here.
Night 3, email me if you want one, buddy.
I miss this, man. It's definitely been nice because, of course, man, these are all speculation. Let's be real though, man. Us as this content creators and people in the chats, we just seem to be a lot more accurate than the analyst itself, and that's where I get disappointed with these guys, because to me, these guys played the game. They should be able to bring a whole new level of some awareness to some of the stuff that's happening in the game, but then they talk out their ass, and a lot of it's just they ride the wave of how it's going to get them into the popularity. Every single talk show has some kind of thing. Okay, you guys are going to bash on this team. You're going to be the opposite side, and and then they do the segment every freaking hour. So of course those guys are getting sick of talking about certain teams. So then their viewpoints change, and so I'm just really tired of that. Those are the type of things. When I get an ex-player and he becomes a coach, I expect him to be able to teach something. Hey, this is about the game. The same thing with the analysts, but you don't see that stuff, that level of, I don't know. They just need to be able to up their game. And so that's where I'm hoping with some of these guys like Kelsey. I'm interested to see how he is in that Monday Night Football out there. What can he bring to the game as well too. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting season. There's a lot of potential for the season. And let's be real, man. Those Swifties with Kansas City.
I want to give everybody an update on Randy. again, like we say prayers for Tommy, and I don't just say that to say it. Tommy is a great Dallas fan. He's struggling. I'm sorry to hear that, my friend, but Randy's not doing great, people. He's got a long road to hoe. I just want to, listen. I'm not trying to bring people down here. I'm really not. I'm not asking for money. I just ask you to give me your ear and just know that at the end of the day, we love our squads, right? And it's all fun. I wish I'm never going to be 100% happy with what somebody says regarding my team, and that's fine. But it's not life and death, right?
Yeah.
It's not life and death, but they are protecting his they are projecting his release from where he's at to be July 5th. So
a long wait.
He's going to be there until July 5th. It's a rehab facility. Remember, his whole right side of his body is numb. They're working on getting his feeling back. It's
nerves and stuff.
I mean, I don't want to say paralyzed, but it's like that. He'll have enough training and strength to come home and then go to outpatient locally. He'll be very limited to how many times per day he can go up and down the steps a day, which I don't know if I'd be worried about any steps right now, Steph. We'll have to move some of his office upstairs. We have his seat. I was in his house, so I know what she means. He's going to need a cane. He has a long road ahead of him, all because he was driving while working. So, again, people, thank you for stopping by here. I appreciate everybody. Phil, are we doing a show Saturday?
I am going to prepare. I know I have to drop the little one off at the airport on that Saturday and stuff like that, so it might be a little bit tricky, but I think everything should play out for Saturday.
Okay, so you'll see me like you always see me. I will be releasing a video tomorrow I did with Mark. Some of you may have already saw it. I know Rob did. He had, not me, he had an issue with the Zoom because I was watching my Zoom fine and he was frozen, but on his end, I was frozen. Regardless, I ended up getting cut off towards the end. I will make a thumbnail and release that tomorrow. Thomas Garrett. Again, me and Phil are going to try and Drew, I got to figure that out, bro. But you're welcome to do the Zoom call since you're here all the time. But that's fine. I do that on Sundays. Me and Phil are most likely going to Dallas for the Eagle game. So anybody in Dallas, down in Dallas, who wants to hang out, earmark that November 10th game.
Be near my birthday.
We're going to have a tailgate outside with some surprise guests. So it should be fun. But, I'm looking forward to it. So, but thank you, everybody. Phil, is there anything else? I do have Phil's channel pinned up at the top. I can't imagine anybody doesn't. But please, if anybody that's watching this on replay, make sure you sub up to my man Primetime Phil. We have a show every Saturday night.
Yeah, it bumps up obviously during the
Johnny
season
Mac,
where we try to put something before the game, after the game. We've been mixing it up this past year. So, I mean, we're definitely getting a lot braver when it comes to, we're not shy. Let's just say that we're not shy about going live anymore. Listen,
it's a little overwhelming when you've never done it before. Like Drew wants to do a call-in show. I could have figured that out, and then I got to deal with all the idiots.
Thank you, Drew.
So again, I appreciate everybody.
I appreciate you guys too. I appreciate you guys putting up with, all through the broadcast. So I'm just happy to be back.
Listen, Drew, Brad, everybody, we are we're like 54 days away from 55 days away from the training camp. We're just 3 months away from a kickoff. That's nuts. So I'm loving that. Again, he put it out of the day on YouTube. What's up? I don't know. Oh, okay. But all right, everybody, we are out of here. I appreciate you all, and we will see you as a duo on Saturday night. Peace out, everybody. Oh, and if anybody wants hats, make sure you email me, GameTimeBrian@gmail.com. Peace.
Hey, man.
What?
I'm cool. This is me. We're gonna jump on that spaceship and get out of here. Let's go.
No judgment. Shoot.
Get to smash that subscribe button. You know what? I'm gonna give it. I'll give it 4 out of 5 avocados. Korg?
I was raised by avocados.
Oh my God! Just kill me now.
Ho, ho, ho.
Green Giant.
Hey! Hey! We know each other. He's a friend from work.
I think it's going really well. I know. This is literally the first time I took my gun out of the holster. Right.
And that is why we need a triumphant video.
What?
You guys led us to this. Thank you.